Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Classic Constructed Gameplay. Today we have Katsu kind of mid-range / control versus Levia. I'm just going to quickly talk about my deck real quick. We are heading into the second week of Road to Nationals. Katsu Control is looking to be a very popular deck. Did have quite a showing in week one. This deck is pretty interesting. It originated back in Welcome to Wraith. Was really centered around Drone Brutality back then. Sort of what we have nowadays, it does utilize a lot of defense reactions, especially Flick Flack being extremely efficient and probably, one of the pillars of the deck. But we don't have Drone of Brutality anymore, so we are a bit more mid-range. So we're going to be having more Surging Strikes with the Whelmlings to follow up, as well as Leg Taps, Fluster Fist, Pounding Gales, all that good stuff. So that being said, I know we kind of touched on it already, but I'm going to talk about a few cards in this deck. So we do have our Flick Flacks. Levia is probably not going to be going too wide on us, but she does have Dread Screamer, so we can't expect a Flick Flack to do well. Also, when stuff is dominated, parking that red Flick Flack in Arsenal, always a good thing. Then, like I talked about, what makes this deck really different from what it used to be back in Welcome to Wraith is we do look a lot more mid-range. You're going to see a red Leg Tap down here and a red Surging Strike. We do have 2 red Rising Knees, and we have, I think it's 3 red Whelming Gust Waves. So the Whelming Gust Wave line is really the most dangerous when it comes to on-hit triggers. And if we draw a natty Whelming or Surging Strike in the Whelming Gust Wave, we can expect to be, have a pretty decent turn. That being said, we also do have Fluster Fist. We're not going to have, open the center or anything leading into Fluster Fist. Fluster Fist is just a really good target for Katsu. So when you do get that Katsu trigger, you can, pitch a 0 that maybe does 1 damage and go find a Fluster Fist and come in for 4. Quickly, let's talk about the Armor Suite. We do have Mask Momentum. It's going to be a staple in every Ninja deck, right? You're going to be looking to draw that card off the, the third chain link in a row, and it's just massive every single time you do it, and your opponent's going to actively have to play to adapt to that card specifically. Then we have Fyendal Spring Tunic. It is a control / mid-range deck, and it's classic constructed, so we're going to be getting quite a bit of value off the Tunic. We do have Breaking Scales. Also, this is very, very standard Ninja. I guess you can also consider Goliath Gauntlet for things like the Surging Strike, or maybe a Command and Conquer if it's in your deck. But other than that, Breaking Scales is going to be it. You can find some break points with the +1, but mostly, blocking for 1 is quite important. And then this is a bit unusual. This is really what makes this deck a lot different from its aggro sort of constituent, whatever you'd call it, the other version of this deck. Yeah, counterpart. We do have the Breeze Rider Boots. They are going to block for 1, Battle Board 1, but they will be able to, on hit of a combo card, we can crack them and get go again. And we can string together, some what would be crappy 0-cost combo cards into having a decent turn. But, and also have to mention Double Kadachi. That's not the exciting deck, though. We do have something much cooler on the other side of the board. Hayden, tell me about Levia.
That's definitely true. Now that Brennan's had his 5 minutes of fame there. And also, if you haven't, this is the first time seeing the blonde hair, go and check out this week's Time in the Round. That's just gone up probably a day or 2 before this gameplay, and you can find out about Brennan making the transition to blonde hair. So,
final form.
It's full final form. So yeah, for me, I've grabbed Levia today. I actually think that Levia is a hero that could potentially shine in the next couple of weeks of Road to Nationals. We're seeing a lot more control decks out there. The Brute builds can enact really strong game plans into control builds because of the Mandible Claw. I'm really interested to see how this matchup goes. Haven't played this matchup, so have an idea of theory and how we're going to go about it. If you're interested in the list, this list is actually just the Devastation list, card for card at the moment. If we look at some of the key cards in this matchup that are going to be important for us, we've got Art of War. With the hero that can play out of Banish, finding this with like a Deep-Rooted Evil is going to be really important for us. Or even just to be banishing, drawing 2 cards, but then satiating Blood Deed off Levia if we're not actually banishing from the graveyard this turn with that attack. So that's an important card. Blood Rush Bellow, really important for our Mandible Claws and setting up big turns. If we can combine these 2 cards at some point, we can have some really big turns that can push 20, 25 up to 30 damage, which is going to be how you really want to attack control decks with these big 5-card hands. So really important card for us there. We want to be trying to set up 5-card hands with it. Endless Maw, Flick Flack is in Brennan's deck, of course, as a Katsu player, so going tall is actually going to be a bit more beneficial to us than trying to go wide in a lot of circumstances. So Endless Maw, a 3-cost attack that can come in for 9 with the ability off the Banish is really important. And then Doomsday. So, these legendary instants that we see in Monarch with Doomsday and what's the other one?
The other one is called Eclipse, sir.
Eclipse, thank you. Just momentary blank there. Are really, really important, I think, in terms of what they can do, where they can provide you with, into a control matchup, another threat, another outlet which means that your opponent has to deal with. And it's not going to be that difficult for us to turn it on. We're not going to be under heaps of pressure, ideally. I mean, Brendan can definitely find some draws with the league taps and surgings to put us under pressure, but we can set this up for late game. In terms of how weapons we already talked about, we're running the Mandible Claws. Just allows for these bigger 5-card hands for us. Other considerations would be like the Meat Axe or the Romping Club. I've seen some Hexcore builds. For me personally, I still think that, especially in this current meta, I want to be on like a Mandible Claw build. From the equipment side, we're playing the Scabskin Leathers, which is, pretty basic, pretty core from Brute decks. Going to allow us to, where Brendan's not able to put pressure on us, allow us to try and roll for those turns and just come with these big 5-card hands that's going to enable those, which is actually a pretty reasonable game plan against decks that can't put back pressure. What we do have to be careful of is Brendan with like the league taps and surgings, etc. Rounding out, we've got the Gambler's Gloves, which pairs, of course, with the Scabskin Leathers, and then we've got the Ebb and Fold, which is going to allow us to satiate that blood debt, triggering Levia's ability at some points, but also just allowing us to keep momentum going, draw a card, put a card to banish that we could play, like a Howl or a Deeper Evil or whatever. And then Barkbone Strapping. The defensive value not very relevant here, but the reason we played over Husk in this matchup is just, again, we're trying to find these big 5-card hands, and extra resources is going to allow us to do that. In terms of cards we're not playing, we're playing a 64-card deck in this matchup. Fatigue, not necessarily our biggest concern, but we definitely could run out of threats in this matchup if Brendan is just purely blocking out and not presenting back, just focusing on that. So we're not playing the Nulrune equipment, we're not playing the Arc Smashers, of course, we're not playing the defense reactions in Guardian, the Shadow Realm, and Unmovable. Cool. All right, Brendan. Should we get into it? I've got a dice here. Would you like odd or even?
I do wonder if, like, I don't think I could, but I do wonder, like, you talked about the strategy of just, like, literally blocking you out. I have also not played this matchup, so I probably won't be implementing that strategy because it's going to be really boring if that strategy sucks, and it's also going to be boring if it works, but there's a potential. I doubt it with Levia being able to go so wide and go so tall.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be milling through his deck like a chain would at a very rapid rate. So I'm not going to employ that strategy, although it is interesting that you bring it up. I won.
Yeah, you won the draw. I think it. The reason you can't do it is because I can present such big 5-card hands. Because if you could get through the Blood Rush Bellows and I don't get much value out of them, then there's potential. But there's just a lot of damage in this deck on big turns, which is going to be difficult.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to go second.
Sure. All right. Best of luck.
Hello. And while Hayden thinks about his turn, I do think, in theory, Ninja Control should be quite bad into this because Ninja Control is we are a bit Ninja mid-range, but Ninja Control is a very reactive game plan and a very passive game plan at that. And just not ever really being able to punish Levia for having high amount of blood debt, presenting enough damage for her to have to kind of take an off turn. We shouldn't be too favored, and why are you playing that bad card in your deck? Nourishing Emptiness, turn 1.
Straight with Nourishing Emptiness, turn 1. Nice. Good way to start. Yeah, Nourishing Emptiness. I think this is one.
Teaching these people.
Well, I think this is one of the best decks for Nourishing Emptiness because you're banishing 6 attacks from your graveyard. You can actually set up game states where you don't have any attack actions in your graveyard mid game. Which makes this card a lot better. Other than that, it is a 6 attack 3, and the ability is relevant in this deck. So I actually think I have blasted people for playing this card and things like Katsu Control and things like that. But I actually think this card has a place in this deck.
I take 3.
Sure. So
37. God, must be nice.
Oops. Just get the left to so it brings down to 37, and I'll pass the turn. Set an Arsenal, draw up to 5.
Yeah.
Definitely the way we want to start in this matchup.
Not too bad, eh? Not too bad.
Not bad.
Alright, Tunic up. Beautiful Tunic at that. We will get your Fine Center and Karachi.
Yeah, sure. 39 for us. We'll take the damage.
Sure. Karachi.
So the question is, Brennan has a 4-card hand. If he has one of the go-agains that's going to be able to pressure me, then I kind of want to make sure I can not let the mask trigger. But if he's, just going to be using a 2-card hand to attack, I don't really care about it. In saying that, we have a 5-card hand. We're okay to block with 1 if we need to. Yeah, sure. We'll go 38.
38. I'm just going to E-strike for 7.
So there's some consideration to just blocking this out and trying to fill up our graveyard. here, but at the same time, I have a potential for a Blood Rush Bellows out of war turn, which is basically the hands I need to try and win this game, to try and push damage. But it would rely on us possibly drawing some relevant cards. So we could block for 3 here, get a 6 attack into the grave. Still have a pretty good turn. I think I'm inclined to just try and play this matchup where we try and just have as big a damage hands as possible. So I'm going to go to 31. You can trigger mask. And Brendan doesn't have the Snapdragon Scalers to put pressure on us here. He's only got the Breeze Riders.
Personal pass.
Yeah. I mean, if his last card was Razor Reflex there, it could be pretty bad for us.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm not playing on the Razor. But I agree.
So we're going to start Unworldly Bellows playing Blood Rush Bellow.
Yep.
Which card would you like, Brendan?
Just flip her off the top.
Cool. So it's Boneyard Marauder. So we're going to draw 2 cards. Very interesting decision here. So, Blood Rush Bellows to the grave. Really important you're resolving the non-attack actions on the chain with Levia, because you are going to be banishing cards from graveyard. So all these non-attack actions should be straight into the grave. Good decision here whether we Scapeskin Levers to get action points or whether we use it out of war for just go again, guarantee it. Because we have the Gambler's Gloves.
What's the worst that could happen? Come on.
I mean, you know, we just don't want to lose the game early to unneedless rolls on the dice, to be honest. Coming for... Yeah, we're gonna Scapeskin here.
Alrighty, let's see them snake eyes.
Alright,
I'm not quite.
Take the 2 actions.
Hayden, well known for playing with heavy dice. So.
You wish. Alright, Shadow of Blasphemous. I think with the trigger here. No, it's fine. I'm gonna draw on this card.
Sure.
So I was thinking about I have a card that isn't 6 attack in my hand, and I was thinking about with the trigger trying to pitch that to the outer wall, but we could also just draw more. Which one?
Top.
Okay, it's another Shadow Blast bit. So trigger's active. Leave my grave up here so we can see. So search for a card with Blood Debt. We're going to banish it. Now we do just want damage with this hand, so we are going to go and get the Deep-Rooted Evil here.
Okay.
So coming in for 6, so I have 1 action left.
For 6. Block for 3. Move to reactions. No, you pass.
Just thinking. Just thinking.
Hayden always gets to play the complicated decks among the.
we can swap next time. I really want to win this game as well.
Makes me more of a radio host than a Flesh and Blood player. It's got to fill dead air. I think.
You can do a bit of that for us. You can tell us about I know you blonde hair or.
Yeah, look like a toe or like a.
I pass priority.
Pass priority. Okay, I'm gonna flick flag.
Of course he is. Classic.
Of course he is. Yeah, he's gonna weather the storm, right? He's only got so many good cards in his deck. When he starts doing this, roll scabbies, blood rush bellow, all that good stuff. What's the high roll mean? It's okay.
We're coming for. So you take 1, right?
I blocked for 6. Is it for 7?
This is for 8 with the blood rush bellows.
Yeah, I take 2.
Yeah,
Forgot.
1, right? Sorry. Oh, it's yellow for plus.
So that's right. Yep.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So 35. Coming for claw. Pitching Rick Romp, 1 resource left. So 5 will go again since we discarded.
5 would go again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just block for 5.
Yeah.
All right.
5 would go again.
5 with go again. Disgusting. I mean, doesn't matter, right? I'll just block 4.
Yeah.
Take 1.
34. We'll pitch Rick Romp. We'll come in with Deep Rooted Evil for 8.
Nice. Solid.
It's a 26 damage turn, so not bad.
Take an 8 here.
26. 26.
It's more damage than most decks can do in a turn.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So we also didn't even need to play Out of War there. We could have, but it was only going to be an extra 2 damage, and because we had the blues, we could have actually whiffed on our resources, which would have been terrible for us. So, alright, Brendan, over to you.
Tuning cup, here you go.
Okay. Tuning up, pass.
What could it be?
What could it be? I'm just going to lay out my graveyard here, just so it's a bit easier to see. Yeah, definitely quite a few decisions with cards like Out of War and sequencing in this deck. So we have a pretty reasonable setup. We're going to go to the Scabbies here, I think, because we do have the backup of the Out of War still. Scabskin.
Yep.
Okay, so 2, so no extra action points.
On camera.
What's that?
It was off camera.
Oh, sorry, it was a 2. It was a 2. No extra action points.
Classic. Rolls a 1. He's like, 2.
I mean, come on. If I'm going to roll a 1, I'm going to flip it. I'm going to flip it to a 6. Come on, boys. No, never doing that. So we're going to go ahead and play Out of War for go again and banish and draw 2 cards. I'm going to banish this Mutated Mass.
Ooh, Mutated Mass.
So I'm going to draw 2. We're going to have go again on our next attack.
Mon Casino, baby.
Like to have hit a...
Wonder if I'll see any Levia. So Hayden is unfortunately not competing in Road to Nationals because of COVID in his area. But I am competing tomorrow. Didn't see any Levias last weekend. Hoping to see some this weekend. I actually think it's a better deck than a lot of the other decks people brought. But Levia's getting no love in Mono for some reason.
I'm in a Hungry Slaughter base, so banish 3 additional costs, coming in for 7 with the go again off Out of War. I'll just flip them off the top.
Yep. Just flip them off the top.
Sure.
Nice.
I wanted to hit that Deep Rooted Evil though, ideally.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So we had a 6 attack. We've got 2 Blood Debt cards sitting in there, 2 non-Blood Debt.
Block 3 in reactions.
Pass reactions.
Yeah. 3 flick flack. Take 4.
Yep. So 22. And then we're going to... I'd love to sink some resources would be the ideal, but we're not going to be able to do that. Really was hoping to hit that Deep Rooted Evil, to be honest. Would have been the dream.
He wants his cake and he wants to
100% I do.
All the RNG.
I'm going to pitch Rickaron to just play the mutated mass from my hand. So coming in for 4, we've got a 1 and a 2 cost.
I'll block for 5.
Yep. And then we'll see Arsenal, and Levia's been triggered this turn, so...
Yep.
No blood
Tunic up. Oh, God. I sold my gold tunic and was happy about the money, but sad about losing the card. Okay. So this is... It's a nice medium. Coming in for 1.
Cards in hand, sorry?
1 card
in hand. Had some weird draws where we've drawn a lot of blues in our early hands. You see there, we had 3 blues in hand, 3 blues the turn before as well. So we're gonna we're gonna definitely draw some quad reds in this game. That's gonna happen.
Pretty nice for the bellow turn though. It's like 10 on
I just didn't want it that turn. Wanted some gas that turn. Yeah, sure. 30 for me. 30 plus 22.
30. Yep. Kadachi.
I think we're pretty happy to probably throw cards on this next one. Hand's pretty bad. Yep, we'll take it. 29.
Yep. Like tap.
Pretty happy to block this one, I think. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just go in the graveyard. 3, 6, 4, 6 attacks. Sure, we'll block with Howl and Endless More, so 5.
Sure. I'll take off Tunic and Pounding Go for 5.
Yeah, not much we can do about that one. Yep, I'll take 5 to 24. I'm just trying to craft our hand, but at the same time, we've got some cards that don't block, unfortunately. But we want to stop that mass trigger.
If you've seen that movie with what's his name? God,
you telling the story?
Tom Hanks.
Okay.
When the Somali pirates, that one, he's like, I'm the captain now. So it's like me. He's like, I'm the aggressor now. Look at me.
We scab skin. We're just trying to sculpt the hand at this point in the game. Yeah, so 1 action.
Man, scab skinning every turn.
Sure are. Really ideally what we want to be doing, but we just have a quad red hand this turn, so saying that, I do want to play this. So we're not under pressure to like be banishing for Blood Debt here, but we do also want to sculpt our hand for next turn, so we do want to pitch some cards for some
sculpt.
Yeah.
What a word.
Sculpt.
What a word by the man.
But we also can't take too much damage in this game. Just whether we just want to pitch these here. Yeah, we're just gonna pitch 2 red coming for 3.
Yeah, what is it?
Time of Torment and a Shadow of Blasphemy Pit.
Ooh, Tome of Torment.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just block for 3 with Crane Dance.
Yeah, over to you. I take 2,
right,
down to 22.
Yep, 22, the old Blood Debt. Alright. Let you drop your hand first. Kadachi for 1, pitching Blue Fluster Fist.
Sure. So this is where we hope Brendan doesn't again have something like a leg tap or whatever to keep the pressure on. But we know how lucky Brendan is, so I'm on 21. I'll take the 1.
Oh, I've never been lucky in my life.
We're going to block with the Barkman Stripping this time around. We want to keep it.
Ooh, we're sneaking the equipment block. Okay. Hurricane Technique.
So you could Breeze Rider fits this, but he hasn't even blocked with it yet. Do we care? Not really. Yeah, you know what? Sure. No blocks.
Yep.
18. 17, sorry.
Yep. Our pass Arsenal. Your turn.
Thank you.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
You're welcome.
Well, Bloodish Bell is pitching Soul Harvest. Which card, my man? Left or right?
Left.
Alright. So Red Hungry Slaughter Beast.
Yeah, I'm sure they're both reds or something.
Oops. I don't want them to both be reds. I just want them to both be good cards.
Mm.
Okay. We might be going to the bank of scabbies here.
Every turn. Let's go.
So we do have an Art of War that can get us through our action points that we possibly need. Our Mandible Claws is a good start here. If we just went claws into a red card from hand, it's 19 damage, but we could do more if we hit a.
Here's the thing: when Hayden high rolls, you just gotta remember there's only one more Bloodrush Bell in the deck, so
it's very true. But you're on 22, I'm on 17. If we don't press some to try and gain some advantage right now, we're gonna be in trouble. So.
Oh yeah, I'm about to take some damn. I know that.
Back to the bank escapees. All right, we got 2 actions.
Man, it never rolls ones.
How do we want to sequence this play now? Never rolls ones. Oh, that's great. That's just great. It's funny. I think we start with this so we can try and get some. Ideally, what we'd love to do is like get the Howl or the Deep-Rooted Evil into our banish. Just fill up that banish with some attacks that we can play here because we do have the 2 actions, and we can always Art of War for an extra one. So we're gonna start with this Boneyard Marauder down to 1 resource. So coming in for 8 because of the Bloodrush Bellows, and we're banishing 3 cards. Just give it a little shuffle. Graveyard's looking at a pretty good spot. We've got a reasonable amount of 6 attacks in here. Got a few non-attacks. Ideally, what we want to see is get some non-attacks out and 1 6 attack. But we don't even need to hit here. Like we can just completely whiff on this one. It's fine. There's no on-hit effect to this one. So we got. Unfortunately, we've hit 3 6 attacks, which is actually not what we want. We want to hit non-attacks here to make our graveyard look in a better spot. Annoyingly, so we've only got 7 cards, and we've got 3 6 attacks, so it's starting to get a little dicey there. Alright, coming for 8, Brennan. We've got 1 action point left.
I'm gonna play a red unmovable for 8, but pitching 2 cards. Razor Reflex and Genji.
Okay, this feels pretty reasonable. It's not a flick flag.
Yeah, not a flick flag.
Okay. So this is for 8, right?
Yeah.
So we could actually, because we've whiffed here, I think now the Art of War for +1 is going to benefit us more.
I'm trying to think about all my hit triggers for this deck. There shouldn't be many. It makes me. So I feel like I should block with my Breach Hunter Boots and Breaking Skill soon. I don't know if he's got like Command and Conquer.
I'm just trying to decide on this here if I want to Art of War to give the extra here. It's like a real consideration, to be honest.
Well, I will respect my elders and not rush you. I know you're an older gentleman, so
thank you.
In this, in your years, it can take some time.
That's what happens when you don't play decks enough, right?
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but on the Katsu deck, there's
a lot of decisions.
I'm thinking.
Brennan's putting in the work.
Jaw.
Alright, you're back.
Yep.
Alright, we're back. Brennan's got his face back. A little quick edit there. Yeah. So we're gonna give plus. It's actually not reasonable to do that. It's actually just a bad value.
Oh, dude, the take backsies from the down under.
Okay, yeah, just for 8, so it blocks it out. I'm then going to pitch.
Yep.
A blue, come in with Mandible Claws for 5.
So you're gonna keep that. Okay, so it's for 5 and 5. Then you keep the Art of War. Bueno. Oh, block for 3 here. Take 2.
Yeah, 20.
Yep.
Backbone strapping. Just gonna close the
Oh,
stream.
jeez. What is this man trying to do to me?
Alright, I got 3
Fuck.
readings.
Bro. Should never trust a man with pink dice.
Should never trust a man with blonde hair. I only needed, to be fair, I only needed 2 resources there, so.
They always only, I only need to roll 4. What?
Mandible core. So 5, they go again.
No blocks.
Yeah, 16.
I had myself 15 actually. I went to 20, I believe.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, 15.
Good.
I got it. Yeah. Hungering Slaughter Beast for 9. Banish 3 cards. Right. Now we want to whiff. Come on, just no 6 attacks here. I want to keep our graveyard nice and healthy for our future turns.
Yeah, we had to edit there. Hayden was just stacking his deck really quickly and waiting down the dice. And
I'm just going to leave it in so they see you lose your face cam and go, wait, what? Alright, Blood Rush, Barkbone, and Boneyard Marauder.
Okay. So I will block for 5.
Yep, so what's the block? Sorry, it's with 2 equipment. Yep, sure. Yeah, so take, so nice, take 4. 11. Yeah, and then we get to Arsenal and pass the turn back.
Arsenal and Art of War. Okay, yeah, Tunic up.
You don't know what it is. How would you know that?
You slapped it on the board. You did old take backsies. Come on.
I really wanted to. I'm real annoyed we haven't hit this Deeper at Evil. This
I should have Judge called you.
Judge call me, man. All right. So over to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Careful, I really got something up my sleeve. It's coming.
Do you?
Oh yeah.
Probably jumping on the scabies here again, I think. So,
bro,
the one thing is
casino.
The one thing is in this matchup is that it's a lot less. I wouldn't be doing this against aggro decks because you just get punished for whiffing your rolls. Whereas in this matchup, if I can craft my hand against Brendan, block to set up my graveyard, and then he can come back with Kadachi threat. You know, even if it's an E-strike or something, it's not possible to get through that. We have 17 life to play with here, and we have Gambler's Gloves to deny the 1, which is the most important thing. Because we don't want to be taking what do we got here. We don't want to take 6 blood debt. That's a bit much.
Yeah, it'd be a lot.
That would be a lot. So instead, but the 2 actions would really help us here. So we are going to go for the Scabskins.
Okay, please roll 1.
That's a 5. So
sorry, it's off. I'm.
What was it actually?
No, it's not. My deck has a very expert strategy to deal with this. It's coming.
Is it? Oh, that's good to know.
It's a very dynamic deck. It can really adapt.
Too good.
The last thing you want to do in Monarch is be on a reactive game plan. Probably just lose every game. Or most games.
It's tougher. It's definitely tougher.
It's just not ideal.
We're gonna go for the
Oh god.
1, 2.
Surely it's the plus
3.
1.
No, it's the go again. Because I'm gonna banish this ghostly visit.
Oh my goodness.
And draw 2. I have 1 resource left.
To be honest, I wanted it to be the plus 1.
I'm sure you did.
Yep. I'm sure you sure.
I want our whiff rate to come down somewhat if we can. So there's not really a way to do it though. So we play this first. Yeah. Hungry Slaughter Beast, we're gonna Endless More. Alright, we do actually need to hit here. We need this to hit for a multitude of reasons.
My goodness. I'm gonna be dead this turn.
Well, we need to hit, otherwise we're gonna miss the +3 and we're gonna miss our Levia trigger, which is very important.
Yeah. I mean, like, that would be ideal, but you've rolled really hot and drawn all your good cards, so.
Oops.
I don't know.
That's unreasonable. Right?
Maybe the world is just and you will miss, but I don't know. You can see Hayden shuffling his cards off camera, so that
sorry.
you can be sure to hit here.
You just tell me when to stop.
Go ahead and stop and just flip them slowly, though. Yep. Oh God.
The first one was a hit, so we'll just keep going. All right, that's ideal. One 6 attack and then 2 non, and we hit the howl on howl as well, which is important.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so coming in for 9.
Reactions.
Fast reactions.
Yeah, 4. Take 5.
Damn, don't want that though. Okay, down to 6.
Not that bad.
I just want you to not have flick flack, and then we're good. With the game's probably done at that point.
Yeah, it's definitely done.
So sorry, that actually hit go again. We still have 2 actions. Yeah. To be technical and correct on that one, as we should be. But no resources left currently. We will then 4. Yeah, I mean, works out quite nicely for us, I guess. We'll be closing the chain so that we can pitch this mutated mass to play this Hell from Beyond.
Mm.
And then we have 1 resource left. Sweet. And then we're playing mutated mass. So coming in for, we've got 3 different costs here, 1, 2, and 3, plus the house. We're coming in for 9 here. We've got 1 action left, 1 resource left.
Blue for 9 is pretty good.
No resources left, sorry. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'll just block for 8 here.
Yeah.
Taking 1.
Yeah, I actually should have done this slightly differently, but that's okay. Down to 5. We should have played the ghostly first so that you can't get, if you need to block it with a combo card, you can't get the full value out of it. But it's not going to be the end of the world for us here. And then we'll come with the ghostly visit for 4.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to block for 3.
Yeah.
1.
Down to 4. Cool. And pass it back your way. So
tunic up, pass.
Yeah. Our only concern now is just our finding that last 4 points of damage. Not dying to any blood debt or anything like that.
2 Artivores gone, 2 Blood Rush Bellows gone.
Correct.
All of your dice luck exhausted.
You hope. Alright, so what's our graveyard currently look like? We've got, what's that, 3 or 5 cards that don't have 6 attack, and we have 4 cards that do. So, not ideal, to be honest. Not exactly where we would want to be right now. So we have a Dread Screamer turn. We could just come in with Dread Screamer, but if we whiff, it's not going to be ideal.
If we whiff, like that's possible.
Well, we have 5 non-attack, right? And 4 6 attacks. So we definitely...
Yes, but you also have 6 sides to a dice, and we just seem to roll the best one every time.
We're going to Scab Skin. Okay, Gambler's Gloves, which means we put those Gambler's Gloves in there as well. Okay, we have 3 actions.
Come on. So close, yet so far.
So in this case, we can actually start with the Boneyard Marauder.
Alrighty. Boneyard Marauder into Dread Screamer? No. Surely not. Into Dread Screamer, into Claw.
We have 2 resources.
You're so dead.
Tell me to stop.
Yeah, stop.
Sure, okay.
Stop it.
Alright, we got the Deep Rooted Evil finally. We've had 2 6 attacks though.
Yeah, now you got over it. This is for how much?
This is for 6, but we also have the Mutated Mass, which is very good for us as well.
Blocked at 6.
2 actions left. What's the blocking with? Mugichi and okay, Rising. Yeah, sure. 2 resources left. What does graveyard currently look like? So we do just want to try and get some more 6 attacks in there, so we only have 2 left in there. Deep Rooted would be a reasonable one.
So, if we survive this turn, we just need to roll a 1, and we're good. Screwed.
Let's see if I can set this up for next turn.
Next turn, I like the sound of that.
We'll Deeper and Evil, 1 action left. No resources. Pitching a red Dread Screamer.
For 6.
Yeah, for 6.
And you have an action point.
An action point, yeah.
Resources 0.
0 resources, yeah.
Cards in hand.
1 card in hand.
1 card in hand. You get Mutated Mask for 4. Oof. Gross. Which is perfectly lethal. We'll just block for 3 here.
Okay. Take 1.
Yep. Sorry, I'm taking 3, going to 1.
Sorry, yeah, sorry. Going to 1.
That would be ideal.
Question is, do we even bother trying to take the last card out of Brennan's hand here? I think we'd rather have the 5 card hand, probably. Because we can't be... We've used the Gambler's Gods now, so Scabskin Leaders becomes a pretty bad option for trying to get action points next turn. We've satiated the Blood Debt, so we're okay. Brennan doesn't really have any cards that don't block. And we can only come in for 2 here because we have a red, so we'd only be coming in for Mutated Mass. Unfortunately, it's another Dread Screamer, not a card that costs differently, so we'd just be taking the card. I think we're just going to pass here and Arsenal.
Yep, so then that was definitely a mistake for me. I blocked like there was going to be another... There's actually... It was strictly incorrect. Like, I'm going to get an Arsenal card. It's a good Arsenal card, but I'm probably not going to see that turn. Because of how low I am, the block I made there is probably strictly incorrect. I would rather be a 4, of course. Because now, like, I dies all these breakpoints on, like, 4s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's also an E-Strike. I should have kept them against you, but even him against you for 4 is, like, nothing. So, just should have blocked there. And even if I did expect there to be something else on that chain, it wasn't better for me to not block and block after. So just strictly incorrect, holding back this E-Strike. Because at 1, it's unlikely we're going to see another turn, and my hand's going to get so ripped anyway. But the E-Strike is actually quite rough. So we'll just Arsenal and pass.
Yeah. Of course, if he had blocked to that, we would come in for 2, so he'd still be on 1 extra. You'd be on 4. Right? Yeah,
Gotta be.
Yeah, you'd be on 4, you'd be on 3 extra, so... Okay. So just counting our Blood Debt here, we've got 8 Blood Debt. But we have the Ebb and Fall, which is really important. So even if we start whiffing on these turns, we're not completely dead. So we're going to Dread Screamer here, and we're going to be, our chances of hitting is about 50-50. We've got 5 non-attacks or 5 non-6 powers and 4 6 powers. But we have some time. We can Ebb and Fall this turn if we need to. Brennan is at 1. So we're going to pitch Stupid Rumbler, and we're going to Dread Screamer.
Okay.
Left. Scab's getting into this at this point. Because we're not just dead here. Next turn we might have to Scab Skin first. If we miss on this one.
Oh, we do need him to miss. It's really important, actually.
Yeah.
The old shuffle off cam, okay. Just go ahead. Go slow, though.
Oh. That's a Shadow Blast fit. Alright, we'll hit 2 6 attacks.
Alright, so then it's Claw for 3. Potentially 2 claws for 6.
No, so I haven't discarded a card with 6 more attacks, so the claws I can't.
Okay, so you haven't. Okay, yeah, you banished, right. Okay, you have a go again. If I double up, if I don't, then it's okay. So we have to mask, leg tap, move to reactions, blue flick flag, 6.
Mask, blue flick flag 6. Okay. So you have 2 cards in hand. And you can block with 1 card for 5. So we play a second Dread Screamer here. So we can close the chain, play a second Dread Screamer, and we're 3 versus 4 non-hits. So about the same as we were. We could then play a Mutated Mass for Okay, so if we hit on this red screen, we should still be able to present lethal, so it's definitely correct to go for it. So pitch yellow, Deep Red Evil, still one footing. In that case, we're going to close the chain, actually, sorry, first. And then we're going to Dread Screamer, so we get this other Dread Screamer in there as well to get up our 6 attack.
All right.
You just sorry, you just tell me to stop.
Yep.
All right, whiff. Hit. Okay. So we're coming for 6 to go again.
Sure.
Blood Debt's adding up here.
Block for 6.
Yep. And then we... Yep. And then we go see Visit for 4. What colors does it look like?
Blue. Okay.
I almost mucked that up there, actually. So I should have sequenced that a bit differently because I actually couldn't play the Mutated Mass for 4 there. But we had this Reckless Swing, which is what we were trying to hold on to anyway. So that if we did leave Brennan with a card, we could potentially just Reckless Swing him. Yeah, interesting game.
Yeah. If we go back for me, I mean, obviously it wasn't very interactive, but there was actually only one mistake, and it was a very key mistake. I should have just blocked this E-Strike. I expected another attack on the chain, but even if it did happen, it was still better to double block on the second one, because if it didn't happen, then I was screwed, right? If you're at 1, you're pretty much never going to be playing E-Strike out of your hand. You could, but like you saw, I was liable to die there. If I had been on 4, I actually would have survived. So unfortunate, but
Yep.
I mean that's how it goes.
Yeah. I guess for us in that situation where we're trying to keep pressure on, we still have a lot of life to play with, so we can afford to be taking a hit of Blood Debt, or even if we take a turn off to set up and give Brendan a 4-card hand, we're probably okay. We still have 1 Blood Rush Bellows in the deck, and which is going to allow us to guarantee that we can push through lethal, because Brendan has no equipment left. So even with a red Flick Flag, we could potentially guarantee. So we still do have some stuff left in the deck. We do still have Howl, for instance, as well, so we can build these go tool turns. So I felt pretty reasonable position there. Of course, we still had the Reckless Swings as well for damage, so I felt like we were in pretty good control of the game. A lot of stuff did happen in that game, though. I felt like I did have to sequence a lot of plays and go through a lot of lines, and I think once or twice I didn't play quite the optimal line with the Art of War sequencing with Scabskin Leathers and things like that. Especially, you've got to manage not only your graveyard, not only your hand and what you're doing with your 5-card hands, but also your banish, which is super important as well. Cards like Mutated Mass we saw there were really, came in really strong coming in for 6. But I mispitched here on this turn. I should have come in with the Deep Rooted Evil pitch first, probably into the Reckless Swing pitch. And I could have just played the Deadwood Rumbler if needed. So yeah, just some missequencing on pitch and things like that there. I think this deck is not super straightforward to play. There's a lot of things to think about. But in saying that, I do think this is a deck that is, pretty strong into control decks. I think you can punish them for not having a proactive game plan, allowing you to bide your time. You can take some damage from Blood Debt. You can afford to set up these Blood Rush Bellow hands, these Art of War turns, and take the damage like we saw in that game. You've got really powerful cards from Banish that you can play for extra attacks as well. So, and you can go wide or go tall, which I think is really strong. So I'm hoping that we see a bit more Levia. I think there is room in the meta for Levia right now.
Yeah, I mean, as you saw there, the deck's quite strong. So even if I had blocked correctly there, I still would have died to a Reckless Swing. So I was kind of screwed on the Reckless Swing endgame. I didn't play the sigils in this matchup. Maybe that was the wrong choice. Maybe you can play them. I don't think so. I would rather have be hitting off my Flick Flags more, and actually be attempting to have a proactive game plan versus my opponent. My deck is definitely not it's not its core competency is presenting a lot of damage on hit triggers, but it is something that I want to do, being sort of slightly more mid-rangey than just strict control. But like I mentioned, that block is definitely if you are already kind of mentally ready to block with the card and you are so low that E-Strike is not that good at that low of health, definitely been better to block and stay at 4. Unfortunately, would not have saved us. But I do want to note Hayden did win a calling on Brute, and I think we can all see why. The man's got a little flick of the wrist when it comes to the dice. So
Get off of it. I didn't roll a single dice in that. Oh, and that's not true. I guess I had the.
You had Boneheaded Barrier, didn't you?
No, I don't think I had any. I was thinking I played Hard and Cross Trap in that top 8 as well, like in my draft. I don't think I actually rolled any dice. So sorry, Brennan. Also, in events, I usually just give the dice to my opponent and just say roll for me. I don't
roll for me. What a gentleman.
The only thing I want to say is about the way that you played that Katsu matchup. I think it is the way that you do want to try and play it. So if you just give this deck infinite time, it can stack and it can set up as many big damage turns as it wants to. We saw multiple 20 plus damage turns. If you give the deck time, then as the Levia player, you don't have to worry about your blood dead at all. You don't have to worry about not getting back through to some of the cards that you maybe pitch early to set up. So I think Brennan bringing in the surging strikes, the leg taps, all these things. The Razor Reflex, much better way to play this matchup, because I think, if you're playing into a deck that actively doesn't care if you have 5 cards in your hand, then you need to try and adapt to make your 5-card hands be powerful.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for checking out the gameplay. We are adding tons more gameplay to the YouTube channel, definitely ramping that up, as well as doing deck techs. We had one go up with the Shane deck recently, so go check it out if you're interested in that. But if you want to shoot a subscription, we are kind of getting up there to the 1K, and I think Hayden will be joining me and looking like an idiot when we do hit there. He has said that he will do that. COVID willing, is a bit on a lockdown. But yeah, it's been awesome to see the growth on the channel. Thanks so much for all the positive feedback and engagement. It's awesome. And we will see you all in the next video.
Bye, guys.